For introduction, I'm from La CNRS in Toulouse, which is a lab from National Research Center in the south of France. It's my outline. I will first give some introduction, given some word on passive and active sensors. Then I will present the electromagnetic transducer we have developed using FreeDIC. Then we'll present some results on how we integrate this sensor, and then I will conclude. But I think, as you know, there is a huge need of wireless passive autonomous sensor for a wide range of application. You can see here different application, and especially it's true for temperature, which is a topic of my talk today. Well, there is two kinds of sensor, wireless sensor, passive and active. In active sensor, there is an emitter which is integrated into the sensing unit. In passive sensor, we remove this emitter, and the signal is the reader analyze the signal backscattered by the sensing unit. There is two main kind of passive sensors, except to inductive coupling, which have very low distance of interrogation. The first one is RFID sensors. In these sensors, there is a modulation of the radar. Yes. There is a modulation of the radar cross-section here by changing the load connected to the antenna, and which is driven here by a switch. This gives information from the transducer, which gives 0 or 1 here, like a digit, and then you obtain here in the reader high level or low level of the signal, which is like 0 and 1. Well, the second kind of passive sensor is a surface acoustic wave sensor here, where you use a piezoelectric substrate here, and when the signal arrives here, it's converted through a transducer to acoustic wave and then propagate, and you change the time of propagation, for example, by the temperature, and then with this you can have an information about the temperature. Well, what is the principle of electromagnetic transducer? In fact, you replace the acoustic transducer by an electromagnetic transducer. How to do that? In fact, you can have a modification of the RF impedance of the transducer, or a modification of the resonant frequency of this transducer by the input to be measured. How you can do that? By the modification of the dimension of the transducer, by the modification of the material properties, or by the modification of RF coupling, which is more sensitive effect. What are the performance of this chipless passive sensor? I recall that there is no IC or battery inside the sensing unit, then there is no consumption and no from IC or from transducer. Relative to active sensor, you have unlimited energy autonomy, and it's compatible with harsh environment, and the drawback here is lower reading distance, lower than 100 meters. You have to develop specific transducer, there is lower accuracy, and you can use only a smaller network due to identification problems. Relative to RFID sensor, you have a high ready distance because these sensors are limited to 5 meters. It's compatible with harsh environment and is the same drawbacks than active sensors. And for the surface acoustic wave sensor, you have higher reading distance because the sensors are limited to 10 meters. You can use the sensor for a lot of principle, but it's less mature technology. Well, let's see now the principle of the transducer. It uses the dilatation with temperature of a liquid, which is air, with a tank, and this liquid will shift in the microchannels with the dilatation with temperature, and you have a modification of the planar capacitance, which is here, the two sides of the planar capacitance inside the microchannel. For the substrate here, we use a glass because it's low RF losses substrate. We use as dielectric a liquid, water. Why? Because it's high permittivity, then you can have high efficiency. It's easy to process, but the drawbacks here you can see With water you have evaporation, and depending on temperature you can have freezing. That is not suitable for real sensor, which we use only to make a demonstrator here to validate the principle. For the microchannel here we use a polymer which is SU-high, with is a transparent polymer, and it's very easy to measure the position of the liquid inside the channel here. It's easy to process, but it's low hermeticity, and then we cannot use for a real sensor. The technology is very simple. We start here with the glass. We fabricate here the capacitor with the titanium copper. Then we pattern here a 100 micron thick polymer, which is a photosensitive polymer. Then we laminate here to 50 micron thick SU-high film to form the channels. Then the channel is filled with water in the vacuum box. Then we seal one port of the channel with a glass piece which is covered with a double-sided adhesive, and then we adjust the wafer position here only by evaporation. You can see some photography here of the polymer with the channel, and here a complete view. We can see the wall of the polymer here. Then the channel is here, and here you have the two sides of the planar capacitor. We have made some measurement of free dilatation inside the channel. Here you can see the position of the water in the beginning of the capacitor. It means this 0% of filling up to 100% of filling correspond to the end of the capacitor. And here we have the shift of the position of the water inside the channel versus here the temperature between 24 to 33 degrees, which correspond to 0 to 100% of the filling. And we have here a shift which is around 43 micron per degree. We have done on-wafer probe measurement. Here we can see the RF probes here and all the equipment. We have a zoom here. Here it's a check. We can apply the temperature, and here we measure the S11 parameters versus temperature here, which correspond to the filling to 0 to 100%, and we can see we have a reduction of the power received here between around 0 to minus 10 dB, with a quite good comparison between measurement and simulation. Well, we have extract the value of the capacitance here by using this circuit. Here you can see the variable capacitor in series with a resistance. Here the two port is a coplanar waveguide access, and here it is a parasitic capacitance. When we extract the value of the capacitance here in femtofarad, we can see that it's going through from 20 femtofarad here to 140 femtofarad, between 0 and 100% of filling, with a quite good difference between measurement and simulation. Now, how we have done the interrogation with the radar. Here you have the schematic of the radar we use. Here it's a waveform generated here, like this, with this form. We change with time the frequency with a given band, with the central frequency. Then this wave is coming like this, is reflected to the antenna here, coming back. It's mixed here, and we obtain a bit frequency, which is a lower frequency, and this value of frequency is given by this formula here, which is related to the band here, the period, and T0 is the time. The time is given by the flight from the electromagnetic wave to go from this point to this point and to come back. Then if we see here how it's the antenna here, and the load here is a RF transducer, the radar cross-section with an image of the power which is received by the reader is depending here on the impedance of the load. If you change the capacitance, you change then the impedance, and then you change the energy received by the reader, you change the radar cross-section. If the antenna and the load are adapt, the radar cross-section is minimum, and if the load is an open circuit, you have a maximum of radar cross-section. Here there is a measurement done with this schematic. You can see here the radar, the antenna for emission, the antenna for reception. Here it's an antenna which is connected through a coaxial line to the sensor, here the temperature sensor here, which is connected with the port to a 50 ohm load. You can see here the antenna and the length of the coaxial line, and here it's the antenna of the radar. The distance is around 1 or 2 meters. Well, here it's plot the bit frequency level versus the temperature here, and we can see a shift between minus 11 dBm to minus 15 dBm. Then the sensitivity is around 0.4 dBm per degree with a resolution of plus or minus 0.1 dB. Then the full scale of variation of temperature is around 9 degree with a resolution to 0.25 degree, which corresponds to around 3% of the full scale. Now I will conclude. When we have shown that we have validated the principle of the electromagnetic transducer using RF capacitor and using a coupling with a dielectric liquid. We have validated also the interrogation wirelessly with a radar with few metals. And now we have to go from, in the future, from the validation of the transducer to the sensor development. It means sensor is the sensing unit plus the reader. To do that, we have to work on a technology which is compatible with the application, depending, choosing the right material, the right fluid, to develop a specific efficient reader for this application, to validate also the interrogation range, we hope up to 30 meters, and also to perform a measurement on sensor accuracy, which is depending on the interrogation distance. Just to add a few words that we have already developed in our lab and validate the principle of pressure sensor, stress sensor, gas sensors, and also temperature sensor using another principle. And we start to work now on radiation sensors. Thank you for your attention.